Welcome back, everyone. This is Michael speaking to Marcus. We're in the middle of one of the Pinot vineyards, and my poor friend John here is struggling with the camera, moving backwards slowly. So he's asked me to walk really slow. So we're doing the slow motion walk through in the Pinot vineyard. But I thought it'd be a really good opportunity in closing and utilising Marcus's valuable time so well, is that we just talk about the vintages, Marcus, and what you've got coming up over the next period, the next releases. So we've got, I know that I've just tried that sparkling of yours, which was a cracker, I thought.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, so we got a 2012 Pinot Chardonnay Sparkling, Vintage Brut, which has just been released. There's pretty limited stocks of that, so it's flying out the door already.
Yeah, that's a winner.
Yeah, it is a lovely wine, that. Yeah, lovely wine.
Yeah, I bought a box of those and we've been cracking it open overnight as a pre-dinner drink.
Yeah.
It's
a pretty good one, that one.
Yeah, very good. Then what else have we got coming up?
Yeah, so we've just released this weekend. We had our first birthday weekend of the Cellar Door, and that coincided nicely with the 2017 Pinot, which we call All the Dirts, which is a blend of the 3 different Pinot vineyards.
Yep, that was good.
So we got that, and then the 2016 individual vineyards. We've still got small amounts of stocks. That they're going pretty well. So there's small amounts of stock.
Yeah, you'll run out of those.
Yeah, it won't be long, and then we'll probably look to release the 2017s, which I'm super excited about. I reckon they're probably 3 of the best ones I've ever made.
Really?
Yeah, the 17s.
They're
extraordinary.
Okay.
They're definitely a net level up from the 16.
What set that apart?
Just the vintage. Like you have good vintages and you have bad ones. Well, not look, we've been pretty lucky since 2011. 2011 was what I would classify probably one of the toughest vintages we've had in the last, some winemakers you talk to say it was the toughest vintage for 40 years.
But 10 was pretty good here, wasn't it?
10 was great. So we had a good run. So we had ever since 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, for various reasons have been good.
Right.
But 17 for Pinot is probably in the last 6 or 8 years, that 2012 and 2015 being 2 stellar vintages of Pinot. For me, the 17 Pinot is probably a beautiful combination of the two. So it sits somewhere in the middle, and it's great. Yeah, nice and cool, moderate. Long ripening season, which retains acidity and builds flavour. So there's a lot of depth of flavour.
That's what gives longevity to the palate, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The length of time of buying. That's why, with the cooler the climate for Pinot, the better. It gets to a point where it can get too cold, and then you've got to look to do sparkling.
Right.
So the very, very cold parts of Tassie, are really sort of more for sparkling. But this climate here, where we are through Leongatha South and through South Gippsland, is quite similar to Tassie. We're picking around about the same time.
Right. Okay.
So you sort of got specialist Pinot regions, I guess, here. In Australia, probably here in Macedon, we're fairly similar climatically.
Right.
Tassie, and then obviously over to New Zealand, you'll find similar climates to here. But like the places like the Yarra Valley and Adelaide Hills are quite a lot warmer than here. So not that they don't make good Pinot, they just make a different expression of it. And they'll probably realistically specialise. They're like really great wines are probably more Cabernet based in the Yarra. They do make very good Pinot. As I say, it's a different expression. But here, I think our great wines are Pinot.
That cool climate just wins with that.
Absolutely. It does. So which we were talking about earlier, we've got the Dirty 3 kind of range, and then we've released this that coincided with the Cellar Door, because I make wines for other people. I do that contract winemaking, and I've built a lot of contacts up over the last 12 years. I've sort of got access to some other grape varieties.
Oh, good. Yep.
And so, having had the Cellar Door, we decided that we'd start this other range up called Sourced by Satch.
Yes.
My nickname's Satch. So, most people in the industry know me as Satch. So we started up that other brand, and that I basically utilise those contacts that I've got. Often you find that people have a small excess of grapes in certain
Shiraz
varieties.
was that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Shiraz was that.
Yeah.
So we've got the Shiraz, we've got the Chardonnay that we make, which we spoke about earlier. That comes under the Sourced by Satch, and those wines are only available at Cellar Door. So you won't find them at
is that because they're limited quantities?
Limited quantities, we really restrict the amount we make, and it sort of sits outside of what I want to do with the branding of Dirty 3, which we spoke about before. So really the Dirty 3 stuff, so that rosé will come under that because it's sourced from those 3 dirts. Whereas the Chardonnay, and we got as I spoke about earlier, we've got a Sauv Blanc, a Pinot Gris, and our new Riesling coming up in the next probably 6 to 8 weeks. They'll be out.
That Riesling we tried before, you can tell it's got a bit of
Yeah, the Riesling's probably our most consistent wine. From vintage to vintage, you probably see the least amount of variation in that.
Is that
wine.
normal, that Riesling's more consistent across the board?
Not necessarily, but it's just, again, it comes back to the climate, and particularly that style, that off-dry style. So we
Yes.
retain a little bit of sugar, and
Yeah.
it's perfect with Asian food, that sort of style. So it comes out of the German region of the Mosel, that style.
Right, yes, yeah.
Which is really famous for it. And that grape variety just suits cooler climates. So you're seeing those types of styles of wine coming out of places like Tassie and New Zealand again.
Yes.
And that off-dry style, and that's because of the climate. It just suits it well. Retains more acidity in the cooler climate, and so then you can balance that acidity with sugar, and it just gives this delicious drink. Yeah. So,
and it is delicious.
I say so. Some people say, you know, what do you think your best wine is, and
You took the question that I was about to ask that.
yeah, and look, you know, the temptation is always to say Pinot, but I think we've still got work to do with our Pinot. Like I think I'm very happy with where the last few vintages have been, but I think we can get better.
Yep, good.
I'm not sure I can get any better with the Riesling, and I really think that probably is our most consistent, and I think probably the style that I've nailed.
Yeah. Mate, it's a beautiful drop.
I just won't change that style because it comes about very naturally. It's not a forced drink, you know. Whereas the Pinot, I'm still working through stylistically to find, you know, what is it that suits the sites, and that's why it's a bit of the holy grail with Pinot. Which, you know,
they say it's the hardest wine to make wine. Hardest grape to make wine out of.
It is, and I think so. It probably, you need a lot of vintages with the same site to really understand what the best way to make that wine is.
Yes.
And we're still searching with that. You know, we're still, as I say, I think we've made some really quite good wines, but I think we can get to the path of greatness with a bit more time.
Yeah,
you know?
good. That's good.
Yeah,
Good endeavour.
Yeah,
Striving.
that's it, mate. Oh, you have to.
Yeah,
And particularly with Pinot, you can. It always keeps you on your toes. Every vintage, it delivers something new, and you go, Jesus, I haven't seen this one before. You know, so yeah. So
and then Shiraz, then you've got.
Yeah. So we're sourcing some Shiraz. We had a bit of stuff from a vineyard in Bairnsdale, but this year, last 2 years, we've managed to get some grapes from a place called Silverwaters, which is in San Remo.
Okay, yeah, good.
And really spectacular.
You said you were happy
north-facing
about
site.
that.
Oh, it's an amazing site.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Really
looking forward to that.
spicy, earthy. You know, very
Meat lovers drink.
Absolutely. Yeah, very different expression of Shiraz, but like more of that cool climate, more sort of in line with what you might find in Canberra or somewhere like that. You know?
Okay, good.
Yeah, so
Because
lovely, silky
Clonkilla's out of.
Clonakilla, amazing.
Yeah.
One of Australia's great cool climate Shiraz.
Oh, beautiful!
Yeah.
What a great drop that is.
And that is like there's a great wine, but that's a long legacy of multi-generations of experimentation and coming towards, with their Shiraz Viognier, like they've just sort of nailed a style there that's been a long time,
It jumps out of the bottle.
It's a beautiful wine. Yeah, absolutely.
It jumps out of the bottle.
So, that's sort of, I guess, the vision for here longer term is that hopefully, they'll, whether it's my kids or someone else takes over the reins from me one day and just continues it on.
Have some heritage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's important. It's important in to think that way, and that was another thing I got out of going to France and visiting France and speaking with the winemakers and the people that own the places, of that sense of
lineage.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I know in the fruit game and that with my parents and my grandfather and stuff, a lot of that came. People would buy off us because they knew us and they knew there was going to be the produce was going to be good.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah. Networking, all that stuff. That's good.
Yeah. Consistency. I think that's what we're finding with, you sort of say that, like we spoke about it before about sort of Dirty Three starting to actually sort of hit the mark, I suppose, and people starting to know about us and understand us.
How long have you been running now?
6 years. So for the Dirty Three business, so 2012. Right. And I guess it sort of gets to that point where
you got a large range of stock for a 6-year vineyard or 6-year wine business. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got a lot. You've got the whole range now happening.
But I guess it's been every bit of my 21 years in the business has gone into the last.
And you still got your
6,
hair.
I'm
impressed.
It's going grey though.
Yeah. As you can see, guys, Marcus is Dirty Three Wines. Check him out. John will put all the details listed below, as he normally does, and provides all the information. There is an extensive history here of 21 years, but what's more important is the care, love and attention to detail that goes into this business. But for those of you that don't drink a lot of wine, you should, But if you don't drink a lot of wine, one of the things is you get an ethos of how good businesses are run and how they can gain momentum quickly. So thanks very much for listening, Marcus. An absolute blessing. Thanks very much, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you.
Cheers.
And thanks,
Cheers,
John.
buddy.
Great recording today, mate. See you later. Thanks.